Hello everybody and welcome to another city update. It's again been quite a while since my last upload, so I thought I would give you just a quick update, even though there's not a ton to show you, just so you know what's going on here in the city. So yeah, let's get started. So there has been one very recent addition, very recent means that I've done that today, to non-Lego related things in this room. And that is that I expanded the backdrop all the way to that window over there. I added that final part from that little transition there up to about there. I had one curtain left, and that old desk in that corner always kind of bothered me, because whenever I was filming the city, to have this part in the front in frame, I always also had to have that desk in the background in frame, and that was just not looking good. And so I was like, whatever, let's add this final bit of backdrop, and now the whole thing just looks so much more complete. You basically have a completed view of the city now without any interruptions from the backdrop. The backdrop itself just came out of the packaging and it needs some ironing, and the bottom also needs to be shortened a little bit, the same way that we did it with all the other backdrops, so that it just barely floats above this lower part there. So that's pretty cool. It worked out quite well. It's not a perfect job as always, but it just works out, and it's looking great for me. And now this just is so much cooler. Like, imagine once there is another skyscraper that's gonna go there, it also has a pretty backdrop, even if you go around to here approximately. It still has a beautiful backdrop, and yep, that was the goal, and it's looking very, very good. The other update, which is something that is kind of one of the reasons why it takes so long for me to get updates out, is because I'm working on a lot of the structural, that's called underground bits. As you know, I have this plate here in the front, and that means that I have to raise everything up on this lower section to the height of that plate approximately. And while, yes, I could have probably also mounted this plate at table height, that would have been possible, but I did it this way because I wanted to have room for the wires to, run underneath the buildings without having to drill holes in the table, or I don't know, without it being directly underneath the base plate, because that's not very cool. So I just had to construct a bunch of these, and this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 base plates, 4 by 6 base plates. That in of itself is already about 24 base plates full of, structural bits. And they're not all like this. Like, this is just for the buildings. It has the necessary supports in the middle for the building itself, on the sides for the building itself, and the sidewalk is kind of supported just in the front. For the road plates and for other bits, I've used this more substantial grid kind of technique here, where I used a ton of bricks and just put them like that. That's all the way underneath the streets, because they don't have any structural bits on the top, so they needed to get the extra support from the bottom. And in case I need to access things in the middle of the city somewhere where I can't reach, because my reach is very limited, I can just walk on these streets without anything breaking underneath. And that was also kind of the goal, to get it structurally sturdy enough for me to walk on it. So that's that. Another bit that actually has a ton of pieces in it, and that took me quite a bit to build, is this green stripe here in the front. So this is basically consisting of multiple base plates, some custom lengths and whatnot, and it's just a ton of green bricks, plates and stuff like that that make up this final grass layer. And I filled in a lot of the stuff here, and we got this brown edge on the side to make it look like earth underneath. And to get this to match up with the table height wasn't easy, because everything is on base plates, as you can see there. And to get these bricks on the side to go all the way down on top of the table, I had to put some pieces on the side because, well, a base plate and 2 plates is exactly as high as a brick on the side, or plates or tiles on the side. So that's why I had to run this whole thing along the bottom. This is all tiles. And yeah, that way I was able to get this nice and clean edge. If you want to see how one of these things looks from underneath, these are 2 modules. This front one, it's a little smaller, and this longer one in the back. And they're very heavy because they mostly consist of bricks. Yeah, this is how they look. They just have random base plates on the bottom, and this is this side thing. So these are 1x1 modified bricks with 1 stud on the side, and they are always turned by 90 degrees. One like this, one like this, one like this, one like this. And that way I can connect them to the pieces that are underneath here, to the plates and stuff, and the other studs face to the side to get this nice clean edge. Long story short, I just built some very basic grass underground modules. And that's pretty much it. This has been the only actual progress in the city, Lego building wise. I'm just here, I put this there for you to see that now this matches up perfectly with this height. So I can build something that is 2 plates thick here. I didn't want to build with base plates here because a lot of this is going to be at a 45-degree angle and things are going to be quite complicated, so I wanted to directly build with plates on top of the table. So as you can see, it lines up perfectly height-wise with these, so that's pretty cool, and that all works out exactly as I planned. And yeah, that's cool, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing more to show you. Progress is slower than I would like it to be, as always, but there are just other things going on in my life, and Lego is unfortunately not the only thing. So yeah, that's that. Some not very visible progress in terms of the Lego stuff, but some other nice progress from the background. And yeah, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this update, and I'll see you in my next video.